Hello, friends. I'm Valerie from Pure Alternatives. My work focuses on helping people better understand the physiological patterns that are often seen underneath chronic fatigue, poor recovery, stress intolerance, environmental burden, and other unresolved health symptoms. In this video, I want to talk about the difference between rest and true recovery because many people are slowing down, sleeping more, or trying to take care of themselves, yet still feel exhausted and overwhelmed, unable to regain their energy. We're going to look at why that happens physiologically, what keeps the body stuck in the stress response state, and why recovery is about much more than simply getting more rest. This is what that pattern looks like over time. The top line is what we expect. The body dips and then recovers, and energy comes back relatively quickly. The bottom line is what people start experiencing. The body still dips, but it doesn't recover the same way. It takes longer to come back, and sometimes it doesn't fully return to baseline. That's the shift people are feeling, even if they can't explain it. What controls this pattern is how the body moves between two states, the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems. The sympathetic side is what helps you respond to a demand. It keeps you alert and focused and able to handle stress. The parasympathetic side is where recovery happens. This is where the body shifts into repair, restoration, and replenishment. When everything is working well, the body moves between these states smoothly. It responds when needed and then shifts back into recovery. But if that shift becomes harder because of ongoing stress or accumulated load, the body can stay more in that stress state. And when that happens, recovery doesn't happen as fully and energy doesn't come back the same way. At this point, the body is still trying to recover. Nothing has shut off, the system is still active, but instead of shifting fully into recovery mode, it stays more in that stress state. So rather than restoring energy, the body starts to compensate. It adapts, pushes through, and keeps things functioning, but it's not the same as true recovery. And over time, that's what keeps the pattern going. Now, the body is using energy to stay functional, maintain alertness, manage stress, and keep systems running. And this is what it looks like when the body stays in that stress or the sympathetic state. Instead of restoring energy, it starts prioritizing output. It's focused on getting through the day, responding to demand, and maintaining function. So energy isn't being rebuilt in the same way, it's being redirected. And over time, that's what reduces how much is available for true recovery. Because energy is being redirected towards staying functional, the body still dips into fatigue. And even when it rests, it's only recovering part way. So you can see that recovery starts, but it doesn't return to baseline. That's because the body isn't fully shifting into a true recovery state. So over time, each cycle restores less than it should. So the goal isn't just more rest, it's helping the body actually shift into recovery. That means reducing how often the system is being pushed into that stress state and supporting the body's ability to move back into recovery more consistently. Over time, that's what helps rebuild the pattern. So when you rest, your body can actually restore energy again. At this point, the goal is to help the body shift back into a recovery state more consistently. That doesn't come from pushing harder or doing more. It comes from creating the conditions where the body can downshift out of stress mode. And that can include things like consistent sleep timing, reducing constant stimulation, getting natural light, and building in moments where the body isn't being asked to perform. And over time, those inputs help the system relearn the pattern so it can move more easily between stress and recovery. And that's what allows energy to come back more reliably. It becomes important to understand capacity. Capacity is the amount of energy and resources your body has available. When capacity is strong, input and output are balanced. The body can handle demand and still recover. But when capacity is low, output starts to exceed input. The body is using more than it's restoring. And that's when symptoms start to show up, not as separate problems, but as a sign that the system doesn't have enough resources to keep up. So the focus shifts from chasing symptoms to rebuilding capacity so the body can handle demand and recover again. When you understand what's driving the pattern, it changes how you approach recovery. Instead of trying to push through or just rest more, the focus shifts to helping the body rebuild its ability to recover. Because the body is finally able to recover again, energy can start to come back more consistently. Not all at once, but in a way that's more stable and sustainable over time. And that's where real change starts to happen.